Hi everyone, I kind of forgot about this part of my cosplay, but I had some requests, so here it is. My final piece of my Arcade Misfortune cosplay tutorials, the white top. I started out with a homemade pattern that I made exactly the same as I made my cincture. The tutorial will be in the description. I am using an old sheet that I had laying around, and I cut two pieces of all my pattern pieces. For the back, I measured the width of my back. I just took a piece of fabric that was about twice the width. Then I folded over the top edge to hem it and just sew it with a straight stitch. For the bottom I did the same. Then I measured out some pieces of elastic, which were a little shorter than the width of my back so it would fit snugly. Then I pinned my elastic on the first edge, in the middle, and on the last edge, and then sewed it on using a zigzag stitch while pulling the elastic very tightly. As you can see, I had to pull it really far, so I ended up about 80% of the way, but that was fine, it still fit. I decided I wanted to line the front, so I cut another layer of the front and then pinned it onto my lining fabric. Then I made some quick straps by making a tube and folding it right sides out. I put the strap inside of where I just pinned for my front so I can sew it right in that shoulder seam. Just make sure you don't accidentally stitch over it on the sides. And then clipping my corners and round edges. Here I'm pulling it right sides out. Then I just pin all these edges so I can top stitch it. But before I do so, I also add my back piece to one of my side seams. So when I top stitch, it will stitch the side of my top in place as well. And on the other side, I put in my zipper. Make sure it can open completely or else you're not gonna get your top on. If you have to cut a part of your zipper, make sure that you go back in and put some stitches over the plastic of your zipper so you won't accidentally pull your zipper head off. Then I wanted a bit more cleavage, so I just went in and hand sewed a couple stitches in the middle front. Then I put a piece of newspaper inside of my top when I'm wearing it so I can draw out the shape that the orange piece in the middle is gonna be. I transferred this pattern onto 2mm craft foam and cut it out. Next I take some of the orange fabric that I have left and I glue in my foam pieces with some super glue. Just make sure that you don't get the glue on the front of the foam because it goes through the fabric, which doesn't look pretty. And then because the back was gonna touch my skin and with the super glue it became pretty rough and hard, I glued some felt on the back. I used my hot glue gun to assemble all the pieces and then I just hand sew it to the inside of my top. And that was it. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. If you want to see more pictures of this costume, you can check out my Facebook and Instagram. And if you want to see more videos, you can subscribe to my channel.